Hello everybody, Mobius1 here, bringing you the wrap-up video for the Hero of Tatooine quest chain in Star Wars Galaxies. So, we completed all 4 of the Mark quests. First we did the Mark of Intellect, then we did the Mark of Courage, then we did the Mark of Honor, and lastly we did the Mark of Altruism. Then we returned to the hermit in the bottom of the Squill Cave, and let's talk to him. I see that you have returned, my child. What do you seek? I have returned from my journeys, my friend. I see you bear the marks of courage, honor, intellect, and altruism. Can it be? Have I found the one who I've sought for so long? Yes, I am the hero you seek. And you get a new badge, Mark of the Hero. You have done great things in the name of the light. I am honored to be in your presence. Take the mark of the hero and let it remind you of your cause. Do not forget why you fight. Good luck, young warrior. And here it is. The mark of the hero. You can see, effect, restore life. Charges 50. This ring symbolizes the mark of a true hero. The bearer of such an item has proven him or herself worthy of becoming the hero of Tatooine. The special ability on this ring will restore a small amount of life to you if you have died, but only once every 23 hours. Alright. There are a couple more things I want to mention real quick in this video. Let me get back to Mos Eisley, and then we'll do that. Okay, so real quick, I just want to go over what I've learned when I found the code that actually governed the spawns of the Hero of Tatooine quest. Now, I mentioned this, I think, in the Mark of Honor video. Was it Honor? Yeah, I think it was Honor where I discovered this. But basically, the way the game handles the spawning for the mobs that you have to find, this includes pretty much all of them except for the Mark of Intellect. For the Boar, for the Mark of Courage, for the Pirate Leader, for the Mark of Honor, and for the Moisture Farmer, for the Mark of Altruism. The 3 mobs basically have a table of waypoints that they could possibly spawn at. And that's what, in the video description for each of those marks, I list all of the waypoints that that target could potentially spawn at. Now, it chooses one of those waypoints randomly, so it could be any of them. However, it will only spawn if a player nearby has completed the initial quest for the hermit in the bottom of the Squill Cave. Basically, when you complete that quest, which is, go and get the skull of a squill and bring it back to the hermit, and then he tells you about the different marks and sends you on your journey. When you do that, you're essentially flagging your character, saying, hey, I've already done this. Then, as you're driving around near the waypoints where those mobs are supposed to spawn, if your character has that flag, that will allow those possible things to spawn. If you have not yet done the initial quest, then you personally will not cause the farmer, the boar, or the pirate leader to spawn. That doesn't mean that somebody else driving around in the same area might not cause it to spawn instead, but you will not. I don't know if that means you can't talk to them. I think you could. Like, if you and a buddy were driving around and your buddy had done the hermit thing and you didn't, and your buddy causes, like, the boar to spawn and you kill the boar, I think you could still loot it and get away with it. But, yeah, you won't actually cause it to spawn unless you do that initial quest. On top of that, the way the timers work is a little interesting. So let me pull it up real quick because I haven't actually been looking at it. And the way it works is when the server comes online for the first time. So like if the server has a server restart, it's going to take anywhere between 20 and 30 minutes for all of the mobs to be able to spawn. Now, that value is randomly selected, so 30 minutes is the max. So basically, if you are planning to do this after server restart, you might as well wait 30 minutes before you even go out looking, because it is impossible for them to spawn. Well, I guess it's impossible for them to spawn before 20 minutes, but they're guaranteed to be able to spawn after 30. So if you go out with like 25 minutes, then you'll probably have a really good chance at finding them. The thing is, though, once they spawn, it starts another timer that chooses a random number of minutes between 15 and 60. So once, if the boar spawns and nobody kills it, it's only going to be there for 15 minutes to an hour, and then it will despawn. Whether you killed it or whether it despawns, either one, starts another timer that's randomly chosen between 1 and 3 hours. So once the mob despawns, whether it's through nothing happening or through it being killed or spoken to or whatever, you will not see that, or that creature will not be eligible to respawn for a random set amount of time between 1 and 3 hours. That's a lot of randomness involved. I mean, taking into the account that, you have a bunch of different waypoints to check, and the respawn interval is random, and, it's really, that's what makes it challenging, is just being in the right place at the right time to find these things. So I'm going to put the link to the code in this video description so you guys can see exactly what I read. It's got all the waypoints for all of the different spawns in there. You know what? Let me show it to you. Just because, for those of you that don't know how to read code, it could be slightly confusing. So here, this is what this looks like. Oh, look at that. That's terrible green screen pixelation going on there. Alright, so basically... Ugh. Alright. Basically here you have, it says courage spawns, and then these here are all the different coordinates that the mark of courage, the boar, could spawn. This says altruism spawns, so these are all the different waypoints the mark of altruism, the moisture farmer, could spawn. Intellect spawns, these are all of the groups of bounty hunter and the smuggler NPCs that you have to solve the intellect puzzle with. Honor spawns, this is all the pirate leader potential spawns. And then spawn timers, this is where I got all my info on, you see the initial 20 to 30 minutes after the server start, respawn 60 minutes to 180 minutes, that's 1 to 3 hours, and their lifespan is 15 to 60 minutes. Alright, so these are all, this up here, this is all you need. Actually, not even all that, just these. These are all the coordinates for the 4 marks. You can, whenever you're doing this, just type all the coordinates in, you get all the waypoints, and you can have fun with it. Alright, there is one last thing while I'm standing here in Mos Eisley that I want to show you guys, but unfortunately I don't want to do it on Mobius because I'm not sure if I'm going to break something, so we're going to do it on Fenadin, the guinea pig. Alright, so standing right now, I am behind the Mos Eisley Cantina. There's an NPC here named Lieutenant Ogo. I'm not sure if that's random or not, but what you're looking for is a planet record keeper. If I talk to him, he says, oh, look, great, he can't even talk to me. Well, I guess we're not going to use Fenadin then. Let's try Mobius. If we talk to Lieutenant Ogo, yes, greetings, citizen. My records indicate that you have been assisting fellow citizens and officials around Tatooine. Unfortunately, our databank had an accident, and I need to ask you some questions to fill in the blanks. What kind of questions? We believe the rebel scum attacked our database with a virus. It erased a lot of the progress that adventurers like yourself have done for citizens here on Tatooine. Go on. My job is to update these records to their former standard, if citizens so wish, or to blank them out completely and let them start over on a clean slate. Alright, so I don't want to click too far through this because I don't want to refresh my stuff, but basically what this NPC allows you to do is reset all of your quest progress on Tatooine alone. Now, the reason you want to do that is, like, if there are any quest chains that give you, like, a special unique item at the end of it, like the Mark of Tatooine or the Mark of the Hero, you could talk to this person and he will reset your progress on that quest chain and you will be able to repeat it. So this is essentially how you can get yourself a second Hero of Tatooine ring. I believe that it works. And I do not believe that you can do it more than once. So, as always, since I don't want to do this myself, if anybody in the comments down below wants to leave a comment and say, oh, no, you can do this multiple times, or, you know, it does not work for the Hero of Tatooine. I believe it does work for the Hero of Tatooine. But I'm not 100% certain. So if somebody else knows for sure one way or the other, please leave a comment so that we all can get the correct information. But yeah, I do not want to do that yet because there are still quests in Tatooine that I have not completed yet. So I'd want to complete those before I reset my progress on them. But that is it for the Hero of Tatooine. So thank you guys for watching. I tried to get this series taken care of as quickly as possible, so I'm glad it's finally over. And now we can move on to more interesting things, especially since Publish 8 is out. So stay tuned for some more cool stuff coming. Thank you guys again, Mobius1 here, and I'll see you next time. One final thing I forgot to show you guys is what the 4 pieces of the Mark of the Hero actually look like when dropped in a house. And apparently you can only put items in a house, this item in a house that you own. I forgot, I don't own this house. Okay, so I went and got a house, and it was easier to do that than actually go to one of my houses. So let's drop this puppy and see what she looks like when she's all assembled. She's half in the ground, so we're gonna raise her up. Move up 50. Let's move it up 100 so we can see it. And there you go. Whoops. Go to first person, I guess. That is the Mark of the Hero. It's just like a ball. Very decorative ball looking thing, I guess. I don't know. Something. Put it on a table in your house. Make a nice centerpiece. Invite some friends over and y'all can have some drinks while you stare at it.